So, children, welcoming you with a big smile. We are going to begin this lesson, a question of trust, lesson number 4. What is the meaning of a question of trust? Children, we all trust each other. You trust me, I trust you. But if either of us break the trust will be in a question mark. Similarly, here, Horace Danby, the main character of this story, had placed his trust on somebody. Okay. And that somebody had betrayed his trust. At the end, Horace Danby found a new definition of trust. We will soon find out from the story how such a big realization or a big lesson Horace Danby learned from life. There are two sayings that have been placed before we begin the story. One is, to catch a thief, you must set a thief behind him. If you set a saintly person, a thief will never be caught. Another saying is that when we are together, or when all the thieves are together, they have a typical sense of honor for each other. Okay. Now let us see which particular saying this story is trying to highlight. Right? Ready? On with the story. Now we come to the introduction of Horace Danby. He was a good, honest citizen. And he was 50 years old and unmarried. He lived with his housekeeper, and then he was very good at making locks. And whom did he have with himself? 2 helpers. Okay. Horace Danby was good and respectable, but not completely honest. Why? He was sent to the prison library with a big sentence. And so, what was the problem? Why was he sent to the prison library? What was his offense or his the thing that he did that sent him to prison? The offense, his mistake was he loved rare, expensive books. And so he robbed a safe every year. He robbed a safe means he robbed a locker. Every year he robbed a locker. And he robbed enough, he stole enough for the whole 1 year. And with that money, he used to get his books from the book agent. Did you understand? So this was his earning. This was the way he used to earn for himself and satisfy his passion, his love. What was his love? To read expensive, rare, unique books. That was his passion. That was his hobby. Right. And so he targeted Shotover Grange now. Okay. He had been studying this house and he saw the plan. He saw the layout. He saw the activities going on in that house. Everything he photocopied nicely in his mind. And that day he saw the 2 servants, they left for a movie. Okay, and nicely he took his bag on his back and tra-la-la, he went to Shotover Grange for his attempt, for his passion. All right, Sherry, Horace said as he passed. You know, every dog has got a name like that. Tom, Sherry, Jimmy. So he called out that common name. Even if he didn't know the name, he didn't bother. Because the dogs will be obviously having one name or the other like this. So the locker was in the drawing room behind a rather poor paint painting. Horace wondered whether he should be collecting the paintings or should he collect books. Okay, means later on, after the money. After he got his money, should he go in for painting or the books? Horace was thinking. But then he changed his mind. He said, no, paintings, they occupy too much space. Okay, books are better. Books occupy small space. With that idea in his mind, he looked out for the locker to steal the money. Okay, after that, unfortunately, he started sneezing. And when he started sneezing, why he was sneezing? Because there were flowers. There were flowers that were hindering him in his work. You know, Horace Danby was suffering from hay fever. In the introductory paragraph, I missed out on this. Horace Danby is suffering from hay fever, means kind of allergy fever. Allergy towards this one, your pollens and dust particles. You are allergic to all that. So Horace was suffering from this kind of fever. And so the flowers were blocking, they were near his nose. There was a bouquet of flowers. So the flowers were tingling here and there near his nose and started sneezing badly. And there was a voice behind him. What is it, a cold or a hay fever? Without thinking twice, Horace said, hay fever. And then the voice said, you should have gone to the doctor, because I heard you from upstairs. Horace looked behind and saw a beautiful lady, quite pretty, in red. And she went up to the fireplace and arranged the ornaments. Down, Sherry! Now when you are, in that condition, in the condition, I mean to say, when you want to act smart, you have to be really smart. So this lady was trying to act cool, act smart, and she was really very smart in her actions. So she sat down, Sherry, and she went up to the fireplace and straightened the ornaments. And then she said that, why are you jumping on me, Sherry? It seems that I have left the house, I have been away from the house for a long time. I had just been upstairs and I have come down to see who is sneezing. I didn't expect to meet a burglar, means that is a thief. And then Horace and herself, they fall into a conversation. What kind of conversation? I can hand you over to the police. Who said? The lady said. And then Horace said, how will you hand me over to the police? I can cut the wires. And so the lady said, fine, if you are thinking of cutting the wires. Now see, here, if you are thinking of cutting the wires, do you think you are going to hurt me? Horace just said, no, I am not thinking of hurting you, I am thinking of frightening you. And also suggested, it would be so nice, if you can forget me. And the lady said, why should I forget you? You are a harm for the society. You are trying to rob the society, you are a harm for the society, and you are asking me, you are requesting me to forget you. Then Horace smiled. I am not a harm for the society. I steal for a very good reason. Okay, and what is the good reason? He didn't say. But he said that he doesn't steal poor people. He steals only wealthy people. Okay, and then he promised that to this lady, he promised that if, now see here we have the line, I promise never to do this kind of thing again. If he was allowed to go by the lady, he promised her that he will never do this thing again. But what did the lady say? I can, but then you need to do something for me. Okay, Horace was suddenly very eager to please her, and so he took out his lighter and held it close to her lips for her to light her cigarette. Okay, and then what was the actual help that the lady needed? The lady said that the lady was very cool, very smart. The lady said, my husband left for London and I promised my husband to take my jewels to our bank. But I left them here in this locker. I want to wear them to a party tonight. Okay, I want to wear my jewels, but they are in the locker. And so I came down to get them to wear to the party. But unfortunately, I don't remember the key of the lock. And so, you've forgotten the numbers to open the safe. I do not remember the key to open my locker. So Horace said, wait, don't you worry, give me some time, I'll break open the lock. Okay, but what will happen if your husband will be here and I'm breaking the lock? Then she says, you don't worry, my husband won't be here for 1 month and I will get the safe, I will get the locker repaired by that time he comes back. And so, neatly Horace breaks the safe, gave her the jewels, and both of them parted. For 2 days he kept his promise to the kind young lady. What was the promise? That he will never steal again. On the morning, however, on the 3rd day, he thought of the books he wanted and he knew that he would have to look for another safe. He would have to look for another locker. By noon, he never got a chance to rob another safe. By noon, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grudge. His fingerprints, for he had opened the safe without gloves, were all over that room, and no one believed him. The wife herself, the mistress of that house herself, a grey-haired, sharp-tongued woman of 60, said the story was nonsense. Horace is now the assistant librarian in the prison. He often thinks of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was. Both of them were in the same profession. Clever young lady. She was so clever that she tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. There is absolutely nothing called honor among thieves. Right? So the saying that says honor among thieves is absolutely false. So this is all for today's lecture. I hope you have understood. I have highlighted the important sections. Please read the chapter and connect with your ma'am if you have any doubts. Right? I'll be also sharing the important word meanings and get ready for assignment. With a big smile, I am asking you all to keep smiling. Stay blessed. Right?